Honeymoon, family vacation, joyful getaway. A time of celebration in Kashmir's Pahalgam became a lifelong source of pain for many. In a brutal terror attack, militants opened fire, killing at least 26 people, most of them tourists. Many women and children witnessed the death of their loved ones, their husbands, fathers, or brothers. The incident not only shocked the nation but also left survivors grappling with emotional wreckage, memories destined to haunt them for years to come. Mental health experts emphasize that the emotional aftermath of such trauma is complex and deeply personal. It has been noted that profound psychological trauma is often caused by the violent death of a loved one. It includes symptoms such as severe emotional distress, including numbness, intrusive memories, and sleep disturbances. Survivors may experience nightmares, flashbacks, feelings of guilt, and bursts of anger. The toll on the mind is often greater than on the body. Some may have only mild symptoms such as trouble sleeping or mood changes, but others may suffer from PTSD or post traumatic stress disorder, depression, or lasting personality shifts. It has been observed that exposure to such horrifying events can psychologically scar a person for life. Grief, shock, emotional flashbacks, and frequent breakdowns can be some of the main symptoms. Although most people show mild emotional distress like sleep issues, mood swings, or anxiety, psychologists told News 18 that only a subgroup is affected by severe psychiatric conditions like PTSD or major depression. As time passes, major depressive episodes can develop, characterized by low mood, crying spells, withdrawal, insomnia, or loss of appetite. In some, increased aggression and substance use may also appear. From a clinical standpoint, it has been explained that trauma of this magnitude can shatter one's belief about safety, trust, and certainty, triggering identity crisis and emotional disorientation.
Recently, our country has faced a major terrorist attack at Pahalgam in Kashmir, in which a number of innocent lives were lost. There were a large number of tourists at a tourist spot where many people saw death coming to many of their dear relations, friends, or visitors there. And it was a completely unprecedented event where within a period of few minutes, a number of young lives were lost. There was a lot of blood shattered here and there. A number of people were injured in that. Now, there were a number of survivors also. People who have been directly affected, and some of us who have seen this event on the television, all of them have been traumatized. Now, such an event can lead to long term stress responses. There are different kinds of responses. One is a kind of acute stress reaction in which the person who has been a direct victim or who has been have witnessed the event, they would find difficulty in sleeping. They would have constant anxiety, palpitations, fear, and fear of having such an episode again. Then there is a grief amongst the people who have lost their near ones. So, number of psychological reactions can occur. This then there could be long-lasting depression, long-lasting anxiety disorders, anxiety symptoms. There may be nightmares. There may be uh, a kind of retrieval of this traumatic events in the form of images, and so which may continue for a long period, but gradually the with the time the things can come down, but is some percentage, maybe 10-15% may continue to have depressive symptoms, anxiety symptoms. And one of the another disorder which can occur. Some of the people, that is called post-traumatic stress disorder, that's a PTSD, in which the person keeps on getting images in the form of nightmares or vivid images. Now, how to cope with this thing? One of the very important coping strategy could be discussing. If you're getting such symptoms, you discuss with your family members, your friends, your uh, colleagues, and one of the very simple anxiety management technique could be simple deep breathing exercises or any kind of meditation or any kind of progressive muscle relaxation. These are the some of the methods which can help you in relieving the anxiety symptoms. If still you don't get relief, you need to consult a psychiatrist or a clinical psychologist.
Particularly painful burden is survivor's guilt. It has been described as the persistent belief that one is to blame for surviving when others did not. Psychologically, this guilt stems from disrupted moral reasoning and a distorted sense of responsibility, even when the survivor had no control over the outcome. Individuals may ruminate on why them and not me, experience intrusive thoughts about the deceased, and engage in self punitive behavior. If left unresolved, survivor's guilt has been linked to depression, PTSD, and impaired functioning in daily life. Also, we must not forget about children. In this case, many of the survivors are children. Child psychologists believe that children who experience trauma not only display emotional responses but may also face long term consequences. Children who go through trauma not only have emotional responses, but research shows structural changes in the brain and neurochemistry leading to long term consequences such as maladaptation and personality disorders. Now, what's most crucial at this time is family support. Family support is one of the most powerful protectors against long term trauma. Survivors need safety, presence, and patience. Experts believe that one of the most important ways families can support survivors is by becoming an emotional anchor, helping their loved ones navigate this crisis. It has been advised that families offer a non judgmental space to express pain or simply sit quietly together. Family support is a critical buffer against long term psychological distress, but professional help such as therapy and medication should be encouraged when needed.
If somebody asks you what terrorizes you, you would immediately imagine scenarios wherein you or somebody close to you would meet death. It is the most primitive fear that we have, the fear of losing our life. And when somebody goes into such situations wherein one experiences somebody else dying, especially by violent means, it can leave a major traumatic impact. The trauma is not just an emotional, psychological thing, it's also a very physical, a neurochemical cascade which puts us in what we call flight or fight mode. And when it is extreme or intense, it leads to what we call freeze mode. In such situations, not only people experience extreme anxiety, fear, and sometimes sudden numbness or loss of consciousness, agitation, or anxiety, but there are at times permanent structural changes that may occur in the brain, impacting the person and person's personality for life. It is very common in children, those who experience trauma or are exposed to traumatic issues. We have heard about post-traumatic stress disorder. It is the aftermath of such traumatic incidents wherein people who have been through extreme scenarios develop symptoms like nightmares, flashbacks, anxiety symptoms, even depression after the episode is over. And this can impact their overall personality, the way they interact with the world. What needs to be done is to offer immediate psychological support. This is called debriefing, and people who are vulnerable to develop such problems need to be screened, and then psychological intervention and even pharmaceutical treatment may be required.
These scars of Pahalgam may never be visible, but they remain etched in the minds of those who survived. Healing is possible, but it begins with understanding, support, and time.